UK Sports and the PGA Tour are delighted to bring you the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. We're at the Genesis Invitational. Today's coverage is just about to begin. I'm Luke Elvey alongside Rich Beam in the booth, and it's a hello to Henny Koyak down on the course following our featured group.
Hi Luke, I'm pleased to be covering this featured group. We've got a fresh rivalry developing between these two players as well, so that should provide some great entertainment to the spectators this week.
Well, it looks like this player is aiming to beat Lexi Thompson, which very few people can boast. This should be an exciting showdown, Henny.
Luke, Lexi's young but has been on tour for about 30-40 years, it seems. She's been playing forever. She doesn't lack in experience. She can do it all. Not to mention, you'll be looking at her back for most of the day because she'll outdrive you.
Yes, Lexi loves the long ball, and so do we. Good luck in this rivalry, because when Lexi gets on top, it's very hard to beat her.
They've chosen to club down here.
Well, that's a tremendous shot and sets up a wonderful opportunity.
Two big hits there, knocking it on this par 5 and 2.
And the birdie with big wings on the table here if they can make this one. Okay, steady now. Oh, this will be good for the momentum. Let's make this birdie putt. Well, that's delightful. A birdie to get the round underway.
I've never been disappointed by starting off my round with a birdie, Luke, I can tell you that.
That one's heading down Broadway. Well, what are we looking at with their approach shot, Rich? Because really that's all the challenge here on this par 4 second.
Luke, the second shot is straight back up the hill. Better take an extra club if you want to get it close. This one headed left in a hurry.
And here we are with the third shot. Well, you like the look of those hands.
You better believe it is great stuff to watch.
No movement up or down on the leaderboard for this player. Pacific Palisades in California, the site of Riviera, the third hole, par 4. Elevated tee shot.
And a fairly generous fairway, a little bit more room out to the left than what players can see off the tee shot. Second shot is going to be downhill to a green that basically chases away from the player, going from the front portion of it all the way to the back. Difficult to get your second shot close here.
And choosing the 8-iron here. Getting ready to play their third. Ooh, that almost went down. It's just about 3 feet away.
This is what they have left for par.
Currently 1 under for the event. So many wonderful holes at the George Thomas designed Riviera Country Club. This par 3 fourth has to be one of them.
This is a spectacular par 3. Ideally, players want to hit a tee shot that moves significantly from right to left and moving with the contour of the green. If they can do that, then they've got an opportunity to hit it really close. If they challenge the pin off the tee shot, well, it could come up short in that bunker, and that is a massive no-no.
Lovely touch. Well played.
Gotta say, his short game is phenomenal.
Trailing by 4 strokes. Rich, the PGA Tour is basically a power game these days, although the 5th here at Riviera forces players just to hold off the tee.
The fairway does run out about 310 yards off the tee, and players not necessarily going to hit driver here. They have to be mindful that the fairway pitches significantly from right to left on their tee shot. From there, they're hitting their second shots downhill again to a green that chases away from them front to back. Again, a simple looking second shot, but a difficult one to get close.
Chosen the pitching wedge here. That's nicely done. And he's down there. You got a read?
Just got to trickle this one in the front door. It's downhill.
That one raced by. Bit of work coming back. Just 6 feet between he and the hole. For the par. Now 4 back after that hole. The 6th hole here at Riviera is very unique, isn't it, Rich?
Who puts a bunker in the center of the green? No one else except for the folks at Riviera Country Club. I love this hole.
Going with the 4-iron here. This one is right down the pipe. Well, this will be a big putt to make. A birdie always nice, but particularly when it's a 2.
Now they can move ahead here if they hold this and leave Lexi Thompson behind. Starting to look really good.
And he holds it. What a putt. And that will take him to 2 under. Let's head to the par 4 7th at the Riv. Again, it's a par 4 that requires placement off the tee.
The fairway bunker down the left-hand side comes in quicker than you can imagine, and so players want to try and hit it out towards the far right part of it. But again, you push it a little bit, and now the barranca comes into play. If you find the fairway, happy days. This green is probably one of the most severe tilted from back to front. Players need to make sure their second shots land past this hole in order for it to come back down towards the hole. You will have a downhill putt, but it's better than coming up short.
Let's see if we can make this big putt for birdie. Oh, what a shame. That would have been a nice one to hole.
Can't believe he did that. That drives you bonkers as a player.
Nice little putt to hole, that one. The leader now has a 1-stroke advantage. The par 4 8th at Riviera is a choose-your-own-adventure. Which fairway do you like to take?
I think most players are going to try and go down the left-hand side, as it seems to be the easier of the two these days. However, where they stick that flag stick, well, that's a different question. If they stick it up front right, the left-hand side of the fairway, that's not the easiest approach. So better be mindful of where that flag stick is in order to pick which side of the fairway you want to drive it down.
Playing from around 110 yards out.
The breeze is moving left to right up there.
Going with the 9-iron, I think. Yep, that one's on the dance floor. You can 2-putt that for sure.
Outside chance for birdie here, Luke.
This putt to join those amongst the top 10 on the leaderboard. Yeah, that looked to be a bit of a misread.
Sometimes when you try and get it up the hill, you just forget to hit it sometimes, and it seems so in this case.
Xander Schauffele currently on top of things right now. Now, great rhythm on that swing. Xander Schauffele, delightful player out of San Diego, California. He's got that cool vibe about him. Came out, won early a few times. But then he seems to have struggled to find that next step, hasn't he? He's sort of golf's almost man, except when he got that gold medal put around his neck.
I think that took his confidence to a place where it should have been in the first place, Luke. I think that this young man, he's got no weaknesses, very little weaknesses, if anything, in the game. I look at him and think, why hasn't he won more? Well, the problem is that he's put himself in contention so many times that there's only one person in the game that has won at a clip that he could have, and that's Tiger Woods. When you put yourself into contention as often as he does, you're just not always going to win. Somebody is going to come from back in the pack, shoot a great round, and you might struggle just a little bit, whatever the case. But yes, he hasn't closed as many tournaments as he would have liked, but he is there each and every week. I got to say, this kid he's a world beater. He's going to be phenomenal.
That's not what he had hoped for, I'm pretty sure of that. Henny, I'm sure you've got a better look of that lie.
Guys, you know the worst lie you've ever seen? Yeah, times that by 10. This is nasty.
And here we are with the third shot. 5 shots off the pace. Oh, that's great. It just missed the hole. Found the green side rough. Still, not a bad spot. And this next putt, it's for bogey.
Short game has been especially sharp today, Luke. Very impressive.
And as we take a look at the leaderboard, it's Xander Schauffele in first place. The par 5 11th, one of the better scoring holes on the course. Players are thinking 4 when they stand on this tee.
It's just a long straightaway par 5, almost a runway, if you like. Both sides of this fairway flanked by huge eucalyptus trees, which frames this tee shot brilliantly. You find the fairway, second shot, once again, straightforward. You must avoid that bunker front right at all costs. That is deep and nasty. You're not going to enjoy being in there.
Just 3 feet to the cup.
Putting for eagle. That always sounds good.
And a sight we're used to seeing a lot, Xander Schauffele in top spot. When you stand on the 12th tee, Rich, you're thinking to yourself, oh, a couple of strong back-to-back par 4s, and it starts right here.
This is where the golf course gets extremely difficult, Luke. This tee shot moves from left to right, but massive overhanging eucalyptus trees down the right-hand side prevent you from hitting a high draw over them. Once you're in the fairway, though, your second shot is to a green that's really not as big as it should be for such a long hole. And there's a famous tree just short and left of this green, Bogey's tree. Not because of the score, because Humphrey Bogart used to sit there and just watch everybody butcher this hole.
What's in front of them, Henny?
This one will run uphill. Rolling end to end, this looking nice.
Putting for a bogey. Looks like they just forgot to hit it, Rich.
It's downhill the entire way, and yet inexplicably comes up short.
Trailing by 6 shots after that hole. Rich, the 13th hole. Slightly different look off the tee.
It's really cool. This tee shot is framed by large eucalyptus trees, both right and left, requires a draw. Nothing else to do. You have to move this golf ball from right to left off this tee. If you do it correctly, well, that golf ball could chase down there miles down this fairway. You find the fairway down there, you're going to love the second shot. The difficulty gets when the pin is all the way back left in this little peninsula. You miss it a little bit left there, you're going to find the barranca, and you're probably going to find a bogey or worse.
And this putt to move into the top 20. Ouch, that hurts. And this one is for his par. Our current leader is enjoying a 1-shot lead. The 14th, Rich, I know it's dear to your heart, the par 3. You made an ace there in tournament history, won a car. How do you tell the players to play it?
Hit a 7-iron, a high little draw 7-iron, and 2 hop it right in the hole, Luke. That's what I suggest. That makes it easy.
This is from miles away.
Get the fist pump ready. This looks like it's going in.
What a putt to make. Well done. And with it, he'll move to a couple under par. The 15th, Rich, a very good par 4. Although, if you're Victor Hovland, maybe the fairway's not in your line of sight.
It's a great par 4, and yet there's some players that have seen it a little bit differently lately. I always saw it as a dogleg from left to right, just avoid that fairway bunker down the right-hand side. And this is an interesting green. It's got a high spot on the left, and it's got a low middle section and a high section on the right-hand side, and you never have a flat putt. It is always breaking one direction or another, and it's either straight uphill or straight downhill. This is the most difficult green on the golf course by a long margin. If you see it differently, you can hit it down the right, down 17 fairway, but I fail to see how that's any kind of advantage.
Trailing by 4 strokes. The 16th at Riviera, Rich, is the last chance to get amongst the birdies on a par 3.
A breathtaking short par 3, 166, an island green surrounded by bunkers.
Going with the 8-iron here. Pay attention, folks. That's how you play golf. What are we looking at for this putt, Henny?
He's got 10 feet here. I think he likes it.
Oh, so close. Putting for a par here. And as we head to the next, it's Xander Schauffele in first place. The last genuine scoring hole at Riviera is certainly this par 5 17th.
Any hopes of getting it home in 2, you better come up with something special off the tee and make sure to avoid the bunker on the right-hand side.
That's a nice looking tee shot, that one. Well struck. Getting ready to play their third. 4 strokes off the lead. Going with the pitching wedge here.
All right, going with a little bit more club. Let's see.
Looks like a pretty straightforward 5-footer to me.
This is their look at birdie.
Mark it down, that's birdie number 5. Oh, here he comes into the top 10 with a bolt. One of the most famous finishing holes on the PGA Tour, Rich. This 18th at Riviera is a classic.
Aim for the palm trees in the distance, which are located just on the left-hand side of the green. A good tee shot there will set up an awesome looking second.
This shot from around the 200-yard marker. 3 shots off the lead. Opting for the 4-iron here. We need this one to bounce right. That should set up another chance.
Made birdie on the last, looking for a second in a row here.
And this putt to move into the top 5. Oh, that's frustrating. An opportunity to make a par here. And with that, their round comes to an end. Rich, this player seems to be in pretty good position out there today.
So far, so good, I must say, Luke. I've been impressed with how they played.
Well, that just about concludes our coverage. On behalf of Rich Beam, I'm Luke Helvey. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. 2K Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, is delighted to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Here we are at the Genesis Invitational, one of the top events each year on the schedule. Today's coverage is about to start. Pleased you could join us for this final round action. Luke Elvey here with Rich Beam in the booth. And Rich, it's the final round in this one. What's our next player dealing with as they start their round?
Right now, he has not got the victory secured, but a good final round here could see him into the winner's circle.
Well, there's so much excitement and anticipation in the air. I can't wait to see how it plays out. Terrific shot, almost an eagle. Currently at -5 now for the event. And coming off the birdie, they'll be proud of themselves, a chance to keep it rolling.
I've never seen a golf course where you're so happy to start off birdie bogey. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. The second hole, pretty straight away off the tee shot. The second shot moves a little bit from left to right, back up the hill. There is some space on the right-hand side to miss your second shot up by the green, but there's no guarantees that it'll kick hard enough right to left to get back on the green. It's a sensational second hole.
They get a little ground draw here. Setting up miles from the hole.
This for back-to-back birdies.
That'll sting a bit. 4 feet to the cup. Well, that'll maintain the momentum. Nice par putt. Currently 5 under overall. This hole is a long par 4. Lovely rhythm there, Rich. That's going to work every time. Henny, do you have a better look at this lie?
He is not going to like this one bit. This is what bad lies are made of.
It's like that ball had a magnet in it for the bunker. And here we are with the third shot. What a shot! Almost went in the bucket. This putt for par here. Like the look of this one. That's a good putt to make, that one. He's in a share of 15th. We find ourselves on a par 3 here.
This is a spectacular par 3. Ideally, players want to hit a tee shot that moves significantly from right to left and moving with the contour of the green. If they can do that, then they've got an opportunity to hit it really close. If they challenge the pin off the tee shot, well, it could come up short in that bunker, and that is a massive no-no.
A chance to move to 6 under the card with this putt.
He's staring down a birdie putt here.
Ooh. Down she goes. Let's head to the next. Here we are at the 5th hole. The tee is yours.
The fairway does run out about 310 yards off the tee, and players not necessarily going to hit driver here. They have to be mindful that the fairway pitches significantly from right to left on their tee shot. From there, they're hitting their second shots downhill again to a green that chases away from them front to back. Again, a simple looking second shot, but a difficult one to get close.
Wow, did this come out beautifully?
Terrific approach and a chance for a birdie here on the 5th.
Nearly doesn't get any better than that. Amazing shot.
Oh, that had eyes for it. Lovely shot.
That hole looks double the size for this player this week.
Here we are in front of a par 3.
What an incredible design this is. And it really just takes this green and it makes it into a section of 4. The back right, front left, and back left, they all have their unique features to it, and that all is due to the simple fact that that bunker, which is tiny, minuscule, almost not even there, it basically shapes that green into the 4 quadrants. It is just an amazing design.
Well, that's certainly a step in the right direction. Keep it going. It's time to begin this par 4 hole.
The fairway bunker down the left-hand side comes in quicker than you can imagine, and so players want to try and hit it out towards the far right part of it, but again, you push it a little bit, and now the barranca comes into play. If you find the fairway, happy days. This green is probably one of the most severe tilted from back to front. Players need to make sure their second shots land past this hole in order for it to come back down towards the hole. You will have a downhill putt, but it's better than coming up short.
Not a bad approach. Grab the putter from the caddy. You're dancing. Chance to move to 8 under here. You can mark it down. That's birdie number 4 today. And that will take him to 8 under. The leader now has a 1-stroke advantage. We've reached the 8th hole. The tee is yours. Beautiful swing there. What kind of shot are they facing here, Henny?
And from around 135 yards, over 300 yards from the tee as well. That's pretty solid. They've decided to club up.
This is beautiful to watch.
It's amazing to see how good this player is in full flow.
Just one off the lead after that hole. This hole here is a par 4.
Only the big hitters are going to be able to carry that fairway bunker down the left-hand side. Most players are going to try and avoid it and even miss it the fairway out to the right-hand side, which is not a bad miss. From there, the second shot is directly uphill. Deep bunkers on the front right part of this. That is not the place to miss it. Anything that's a little bit long will leave you a downhill putt, but that's the safe play.
Taking things up a notch in this Lexi-Thompson rivalry, that shot will add some fuel to the fire.
Lining up the birdie putt here. Mark it down. That's 6 birdies today. Well, here we have it, Rich. This player's tied for the lead with the back 9 to play.
Well, this player's pretty much come out of nowhere, crept in the lead ever so quietly. I'm interested to see how they perform over those final 9 holes and see if they can keep it up for the rest of the tournament.
That looks to be a fairway finder to me. Time for the second shot at the 10th. So much easier when you roll like that, isn't it?
Yes, very smooth tempo there on that chip.
And at the end of that hole, he's gone into clear outright leader. Lovely momentum for this player after that birdie at the last hole. Keep it rolling.
It's just a long straightaway par 5, almost a runway, if you like. Both sides of this fairway flanked by huge eucalyptus trees, which frames this tee shot brilliantly. You find the fairway, second shot, once again, straightforward. You must avoid that bunker front right at all costs. That is deep and nasty. You're not going to enjoy being in there.
Attaboy, good shot. Getting ready to play their third. He leads the field by a stroke. What are we looking at for this putt, Henny?
Firm, back, up the hill. This will be a good one.
This putt is about 10 feet from the hole.
This is what they have left for a par.
Ooh. And this one will be for bogey. Our current leader is enjoying a one-shot lead. And on the tee now, coming off the bogey. Might have a bit of a sting in the tail, I'd imagine.
This is where the golf course gets extremely difficult, Luke. This tee shot moves from left to right, but massive overhanging eucalyptus trees down the right-hand side prevents you from hitting a high draw over them. Once you're in the fairway, though, your second shot is to a green that's really not as big as it should be for such a long hole. And there's a famous tree just short and left of this green, Bogey's tree. Not because of the score, because Humphrey Bogart used to sit there and just watch everybody butcher this hole.
That was a bit of a miscue.
What's a strange miss there, Luke? They've been hitting the greens all day long.
And he needs this to save par.
Good stuff today, especially the short game has been really sharp today.
Well, that's a momentum maintainer. Well done. And staying right where they were in today's rankings after that. Time to see what this par 4 has in store.
It's really cool. This tee shot is framed by large eucalyptus trees, both right and left, requires a draw. Nothing else to do. You have to move this golf ball from right to left off this tee. If you do it correctly, well, that golf ball could chase down there miles down this fairway. If you find the fairway down there, you're going to love the second shot. The difficulty gets when the pin is all the way back left in this little peninsula. You miss it a little bit left there, you're going to find the Barranca, and you're probably going to find a bogey or worse.
Looks to have opted for the 8-iron. That's an absolute ripper. What a shot. And this putt to move into a tie for first. Ooh, right by the hole. 3 feet to go here to the hole. He's currently sitting in second. This hole is a par 3.
Luke, it's a very simple hole in my mind, but for the mere mortals who are playing this game, it can be difficult because this green is not deep, but it's certainly wide, and it does tilt from right to left at a pretty good clip. Historically, it's not the easiest par 3 on this golf course, but for me, I think different.
And this putt is to move into a share for the lead.
And with only 4 holes to go in this event, Luke, this is a good opportunity, big moment for this player.
Oh, just missed. Oh, I don't mind this par putt. The leader now has a 1-stroke advantage. Always the toughest hole in the game, a long par 4.
It's a great par 4, and yet there's some players that have seen it a little bit differently lately. I always saw it as a dogleg from left to right, just avoid that fairway bunker down the right-hand side. And this is an interesting green. It's got a high spot on the left, and it's got a low middle section and a high section on the right-hand side, and you never have a flat putt. It is always breaking one direction or another, and it's either straight uphill or straight downhill. This is the most difficult green on the golf course by a long margin. If you see it differently, you can hit it down the right, down 17 fairway, but I fail to see how that's any kind of advantage.
Terrific shot into the 15th and a chance for birdie. 7 feet to the cup. It's on a good line. Oh, what a super shot.
And they're going to have to really focus in here to try and chase down that leader.
Trailing by a stroke after that hole. And they'd be feeling buoyed with confidence after that birdie. Here's a good chance to maintain the momentum.
It's an island green, if you can believe that. It's surrounded by bunkers. I think this is another one of the all-time great designs. It's only about 160 yards, Luke, but the whole green is surrounded by bunkers. Everything feeds towards the center and the front of this green once it gets on there. I just think this is a magnificent design. If you hit it in any one of those bunkers, making a par will be nearly impossible.
A chance to get up and down for this player. And here we are with the third shot. Currently a shot off the lead. This next putt is for bogey. That was a gallant attempt. Yep, well done. And that's a little disappointing, dropping some spots on the leaderboard. Teeing off here on the 17th hole.
At all costs, do not hit it in that fairway bunker down the right-hand side. Anywhere to the left, even in the rough left, is just fine. From there, your next shot should be laid up out to the right-hand side. Third shot, straight back up the hill with some kind of wedge. It can be an easy birdie if you get the distance on your third shot spot on. If you get it wrong, however, you could have some issues.
Sitting at 9 under par, currently tied for 4th place. Wonderfully played. And this putt to move into 3rd place.
And only one hole to go in this event, Luke.
And that's for birdie. Well holed. Now 3 strokes back after that hole. Well, here we are, the 18th hole.
Tee shot up the hill, fairway tilts significantly from left to right. Missing it out to the right is a massive no-no. You'll be blocked out by a bunch of eucalyptus trees that you cannot hit it through. Second shot is to a green that actually tilts away from the players, not towards them, even though the second shot is uphill. Green is historically one of the firmest on the golf course, and getting it close is nearly impossible. It is a heck of a finishing hole.
Henny, you've had the chance to have a look over this one?
Yeah, 15 feet out. He's been staring this one down.
Well, this player will now wait nervously in the clubhouse for the rest of the field to finish. Currently tied for 1st.
You know, still lots of players out there, Luke, that can change the outcome of this tournament. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Well, that's a shame, Rich. You never like to see that, gifting a small lead down the stretch.
It's a difficult pill to swallow, but I think the player will look back on this tournament and realize that when they're in a position to win, they can't afford to make the mistake